And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. If you guys are new to us on the Amazon platform, welcome. We're glad to have you. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button. We have programming here 6 days a week here on Amazon. You can find it here in this corner or down below. You also will see some of the music by our next guest. We're excited to welcome recording artist Max Goen to our broadcast today. I literally found out about Max last week thanks to Instagram. We're going to let you guys know how to stay connected with him in a bit. The single that I found was actually Gift and a Curse. And for those joining us on the Amazon platform, we have it highlighted for you guys in the carousel there. You also will see some other music from Max too. We're going to talk to him not only about his love of music, but it's been late for him to share it with his fans on social media. We are simulcasting our broadcast today, so we do welcome those tuning in on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, as well as on Instagram. Hello to you, Tessa Marie. Good to see you over there from Canada on IG. Appreciate you being with us. The Real Lady Extreme. Glad you guys can be with us. If you guys are not following Max on social, we'll let you guys know how to be able to stay connected with him. But Max, thanks a lot for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me on.
Look, the pleasure's definitely all mine. As I mentioned, I'm one of these people, you and I did not know each other before last week. I found your music, of course, thanks to Instagram. I know a lot of people are finding you on social media. What has it been like for you, Max, to see the response to the new single?
It's great. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a long time coming. We actually recorded it kind of early last year, and then we were kind of trying to pile some songs together to be able to have, kind of release windows that were sort of back to back in a way. I've only got so many songs right now, so back to back for me means 1 to 2 months or instead of, every couple of weeks. But been waiting to release it, been really excited about it. And then, I'm getting relative attention to it to kind of the size I'm at right now. But the reviews on it have been pretty good from what I've heard from people. So I'm really excited about it being out and people getting to listen to it. And hopefully I can just, keep getting people like you who come across it and like it and go listen to it. So that's kind of the goal.
Yeah, I know for myself, I've been on the radio here, Max, in Mississippi now for 21 years as of this year, and on the radio dial. And when I started with Amazon 4 years ago, one of the great things I love is that, and as I was saying to you before we went live here, I'm always on the internet looking for artists. Of course, we have the established artists on the program, but I'm always looking for new artists. So I was really excited to be able to find your music. So when did you know that music was something that you wanted to do, Max?
So I guess my earliest memory is there's a picture of me when I was 3 or 4 years old. My dad is he's a giant Dave Matthews Band, enthusiast. And so I grew up listening to them, and there was a picture of me naked playing a guitar in front of the TV watching a Dave Matthews concert. Just got out of a bath or something. And so I've always just kind of wanted to play guitar. And then when I was 7 or 8 years old, I started taking lessons and at a place called Oklahoma Music Academy, which Mac actually, who's my manager and producer, he's the co-owner of that. So I've been taking guitar from him and his business partner for, since I was 8 years old through my senior year of high school. Now I'm actually a senior in college. But they put on a program every summer called Summer Jam. It's kind of like a, battle of the bands type of thing. Without the battle, it's just really, they put a bunch of bands together and we go, there's a place in Tulsa called the Cain's Ballroom. It's a kind of a world famous attraction, event center for concerts. And they do it at the end of every summer. Each band plays 2 or 3 songs. And so I've done that forever. And then I picked up singing and playing. I kind of stopped after 2 or 3 years of doing it because I had a voice crack on stage. I was starting to hit puberty. Got a little embarrassed, got a little shy. And then my senior year, I decided to sing again. So that kind of just, I realized right then, I was like, there's nothing better than singing and playing in front of a crowd. So did that and then went to college and I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. It's kind of bad timing to just go to college when that's really what I want to do. But I started songwriting in college and it's given me a lot of opportunity to create songs and create words and learn. And, so that's kind of how the whole music career unfolded. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, Max, for sure. And I should let our audience know, even though we're talking about Gift and a Curse, I was checking in with Max before we went live. You guys are on the Amazon side. You'll notice there are other singles by Max as well. You'll see there I have highlighted in the carousel for you guys. Works Out in the End. You all can get it there for 99 cents. Next to it, you'll find, I'm going to highlight it for you guys, Grandpa, I'd Like to Know. You all can be able to get that single there for 99 cents as well. You have You and a Sunrise is there as well. We have it highlighted for you guys on the carousel. That one's 99 cents. And then, of course, the song we're talking about now, Gift and a Curse. So as I mentioned, Max, I'm one of these crazy people who found you on social, who then reaches out to you. And now here we are having this conversation. Social media is one of those places, though, right, that you're able to connect with a lot of people. What has that been like for you to connect with your fans on platforms like Instagram, like where I found you?
Yeah, so I guess the word to sum it up is tough. The social media is definitely something that I'm not exactly the best at. I'm not, I'm as much of a phone addict as the next guy, but I'm on it all the time. But as far as creating on it, and having to produce content all the time, I'm not the best at it, and I'm learning. And it's been a fun process. But at the same time, as I've started to see and notice people actually start talking about it, and then doing it myself, it's definitely been a challenge, kind of creating content so consistently and trying to do things that are different from your last video or different from your last picture or whatever it might be. And you get kind of consumed in that, and I love every bit of it, because the journey's fun. But it does get, a little bit frustrating at times when you don't see the results you want. And you may put all this time and effort and money and whatever else into this one video that you really tried on and get, relative to my size, 700, 800 views, something like that. And then you may just willy-nilly a video in your bedroom and get 3,000 views, or, and that's a lot for me right now.
Yeah.
So it's just it's one of those things that you can't ever really predict it. And it can be tough when you don't get the results you want, but when you do, it's great. But I think one of the main things that I'm kind of learning to balance while still being in school is, how do I balance the gigs? How do I balance the school? How do I balance the content creating? And how do I also still do the thing that I love most, which is creating the music and writing the song? So it's been a fun and a little bit of a difficult kind of journey with that, but it's been fun to learn about all of it. And it's, every other artist is trying to do what I'm doing right now is having to do the same thing. So it's kind of one of those deals. You just got to suck it up and do it. And, you want to just be writing songs and playing shows, but at the same time, we live in a world where content creation is kind of one of the biggest keys to this kind of stuff. So it's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah. There was a fellow content creator in Canada, Tessa Marie. She said on Instagram, "This is so true." So she is definitely agreeing with you. King Bruce Leon, hello to you over there on IG. Real Talk with Tanya White, hello to you. W Beta, I think it's pronounced, on IG. Thank you so much for being with us. For those who are joining us on social, we welcome you guys as well. You're watching Cyrus Webb Presents. We're broadcasting on Amazon Live right now on Amazon.com, but we are simulcasting on Facebook, YouTube. I see you guys over there as well on YouTube, as well as on X and on Instagram. We're speaking today with Max Goen. We're talking to Max not only about his love of music, but also the newest single that I found out about, Gift and a Curse. And for those joining me on the radio side of Mississippi, Max is our artist of the week this week. So talking about the single, Max, how did it come about?
So it's kind of a funny story. So my girlfriend now, we started dating at the beginning of college. And then my sophomore year, we broke up for a little bit. And then, so I go to the University of Oklahoma. So we both lived down in Norman. And, not the crazy person. We together, broke up, got back together, all that good stuff. But the song came from the breakup, right? So it was kind of just one of those things. And songwriting for me, it's difficult when I sit down and say, I'm going to write a song today, because then I get two in my head, I get a little bit of writer's block, all that. But then, I probably get a song idea at the worst times of the day, like sitting in class when I can't go do something about it, or I'm driving and I can't go pick up my guitar or whatever, but some idea will come to me at the worst time possible. And then I got to go write it down or go to the bathroom and do a voice memo, whatever it might be. And so I remember I said those words one day, Gift and a Curse. I don't know why, and I don't know where, I don't know what I was doing, but I remember saying those words. I was like, that'd be a cool song title. And so then I just kind of picked up my guitar, feeling all the emotions I was feeling at the time, going through a breakup. And that's just kind of how the song evolved. And we were actually my girlfriend and I were joking about it the other day, just because it was, well, we were thinking about different things that, like, could be fun content to post on TikTok or whatever, make like a funny video of, like, we were together, broke up, the song gets written, and then we get back together, and now the song's getting released, kind of awkward, whatever. And it was just a content idea, but yeah, we were kind of laughing about that the other day. But yeah, so that's kind of how the song came about. And I actually wrote it sophomore year of college, so 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And it was just kind of one of those deals where I hadn't gotten super serious about producing the music yet, and actually putting instrumentation behind it and releasing it. And I hadn't really gotten serious about it. I was really just writing music, just kind of for me.
Mhm.
I was posting some Instagram videos here and then, but it was mainly just I just wanted to write the songs, and it was fun to do it.
Yeah.
And I play them for people and whatnot. But yeah, so wrote the song then, and I kind of circled back to it one day. I was playing a gig, and I was practicing warming up in my room before, and I was just starting to. I found that song, and I was like, oh, I should play this, see if I can remember how this goes, and see if it'd be a cool song to play live. And then I played it. My dad was sitting in my room with me, and I play it, and he goes, "What song is that?" And I was like, "It's called Gifted and Cursed." He was like, "Who's it by?" And I was like, "Me." And he goes, "You wrote that?" Like he was shocked. And that's not to toot my own horn or anything, but then he was like, "Son, that's a good song." So the more I like played it back to myself and listened to it, I was like, maybe it does have a little bit of potential. So then once I got serious about recording music and did a couple songs, that was kind of the next song up on the list of ones that we could record and produce. So that's kind of how that one came to fruition.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that. Butterfly
Yes,
Thoughts,
sir.
hello to you. Good to be able to see you. Ivana, hello to you over there on IG. Appreciate you being with us. Kenneth Brown, hello to you. Good to be able to see you over there on Facebook. So, with that being said, one thing, I'm not musically inclined myself, Max, but one thing I've noticed over the years in doing the show is that a lot of the artists in particular that I've interviewed, they have their favorite artists that they listen to. They used to, listen to on the radio, maybe buy their music. Have you gotten used to now that you're that person that people can now listen to you and buy your music like I did on Amazon and be able to talk to other people about it?
Yeah. So first off, I appreciate that. And then second, yeah, it's definitely been cool. So the way I have kind of explained this before, um, you're always going to have your family and close friends and stuff like that, and they're always going to kind of pump you up and tell you that you're good, kind of no matter what, and that they like your songs, and you're going to have those people. But then it's not like that doesn't mean anything. Of course, it does. It definitely means something. But you kind of know that they're going to support you no matter what, and they're going to tell you to keep going and kind of pursue your dream, whatever. But once you start hearing other people tell you that they genuinely go listen to it and they love it, and they they like what you're doing, and you hear other people from the outside that you may not know, or you kind of know them but you don't, not really, like people that don't have to go out of their way to tell you that they
Yeah.
like what you're doing and like your song and stuff like that. It's definitely cool to hear that opinion. And the ones that mean the most to me are definitely the friends and family, because I'm always going to want to hear, and I do have a group of people that will tell me the truth, whether
Mm.
like my best friends and my closest family, they're going to give it to me real. Like I've had friends tell, I've written a couple songs, and now, and some of them, like my friends will tell me, like I'm not the biggest fan of that one, and fair enough. I need people like that, like it's nice to have honest feedback at the same time as not. And at the end of the day, it honestly, the thing I've learned about songwriting the most is it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It really just matters what I think. Because if I
Mm.
don't like it, it's not going to be any good. If I'm writing for other people, it's probably not going to be any good. But if I write it for myself and I like it and I love it, there's probably going to be other people that can relate to it and like it as well. So, that factors in. And then it's definitely fun to hear other people enjoy your stuff and tell you that they
Right.
want to follow you. And I think my favorite thing that's happened to me, it's happened probably 2 or 3 times only, but for instance, a couple weeks ago, I was playing my song "Works Out in the End" live at a tailgate down in Norman, and I was playing it, and a guy comes up to me. It was Parents' Weekend for a football game down there, and a dad comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, that was a Zach Bryan song, right? What song was that?" And I was like, "So that was my song. It's called Works Out in the End." And that kind of thing makes you feel pretty good. So
Right.
stuff like that, when you're kind of getting affirmation, and you're not even expecting it. That's kind of that's one of kind of one of the things that makes you feel good and makes you feel like you're going in the right direction. So,
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought up live performances. That's one of the things I noticed on your Instagram. We're going to let our audience know, Max, how they can stay connected with you. What has that been like for you? I call it an interchange of energy, right? Because, there you have the artist in front of you, being able to share their gift with you, but the audience also being able to, like you just expressed, able to enjoy that too. What has that been like for you to experience that?
Yeah. So, a lot of the shows that I do right now they're a lot of like 3 to 4 hour sets. And so, I'm playing mostly covers because I don't have enough original material to cover 3 hours.
Yeah.
But, I've got a good percentage of it that I do play original. And it's a lot of fun to play shows no matter when I play them. And no matter what songs I'm playing, covers, originals, it's obviously more fun for me to play originals. And it has started to feel, because I do a lot of private parties. I play some bars on in Norman, places up here in Tulsa, and it started to feel a little bit more like a job, which is great, and I love it because it provides financially for me a little bit, and but it definitely is one of those deals where it's starting to definitely feel more like a job, a little bit more repetitive, and by no means do I take it for granted because I know that I'm getting to do it. I love it. I'm getting paid for it. So that part is great. But when I get to do things like playing at the bar that I play down in Norman in front of my friends who know my songs, and then playing a songwriter night somewhere, or a 30-minute set where I'm playing mostly my songs and stuff like that. So that's my favorite thing to do, when I get to play my original music in front of people that actually know my music, and they sing along with me. And that's kind of that's what I live for. That's what makes me remember, like, you grind out all these 3-hour gigs of playing the same set over and over, covers, yada yada, stuff that you don't really want to be doing that as much as you would rather be doing something else. Not that you don't want to do it, but you rather be playing your own stuff in front of people that know your stuff. And you got to do those things. But then when you get those opportunities to play your songs in front of the people that know them, and they react the way you want them to, and they sing along, and they're truly paying attention to you, and you're not just background noise, that's when it gets really fun. That it's a reminder that sticks with you long enough until it happens the next time. So it definitely makes you feel pretty good when that happens. So
love that. On Instagram, they're saying the most important thing is to love what you create while giving the best to the work. I totally appreciate that, and I agree. And like you said, there's nothing wrong with being able to cover other people, but when you're able to share something from yourself, it definitely makes a difference. Well, Max, as I mentioned, we're able to enjoy your music here on Amazon. We're going to let our audience know how they can stay connected with you, but is there anything coming up that maybe you can tell us about that we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, so I haven't released any preview for it. I haven't released anything like that yet. I'm going to stick with Gift and a Curse for a little while when it comes to advertising the song and stuff like that, so I can just kind of keep the momentum going on that for a little bit longer, as long as I can and as long as it makes sense. But we've got another one coming down the pipe. It's going to be called Camo Blues, and it's actually about, so I'm a big deer hunter, and I thought it would, as cheesy as it sounds, I thought it'd be kind of cool to write a song about deer hunting. So, yeah, so I literally wrote a song about deer hunting, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. I played it for some people, and, a lot of my buddies that hunt, and they love it. So I think it's going to be pretty cool, and I think a lot of people might be surprised by it. So that's what's coming down.
Okay, but in the meantime, we can enjoy Gift and a Curse again for our Amazon audience. You all can be able to get it like I did for only 99 cents here on Amazon. So definitely take advantage of that. I should say, for those joining us on Facebook and YouTube, there's a link that will bring you guys over to Amazon to be able to get the music for yourself there. For those joining us on X, we'll put it in our comment section. Those joining us on Insta, we will be sharing it again in our stories along with the replay of this. I should also say, for our Instagram audience, you guys will be able to see the replay of this. If you guys, I see you guys are coming in now as we're wrapping up, but you will be able to see the full interview here on Instagram as well. And we'll make sure that we tag Max as well. Max, last thing I want to ask you about, and I think I've always tried to do this no matter who I'm speaking with, is ask for advice, because there's always going to be people, just like you had people that you looked up to. There are people who look up to you and what you've been able to do. What advice do you have for other artists out there that are looking to pursue their own goals and dreams?
Yeah, so I've been, doing this for a relatively short amount of time, so I probably don't have as much wisdom as a lot of other people, but I would say the one piece of advice I could probably give that it feels like it's starting to pay is consistency and just not really giving up on it. And it's frustrating way more than it's not frustrating, because you want to just open your phone one day and you're the next Parker McCollum or, George Strait. Like you want to be somebody just massive. That's what your goal is. And you wake up every day just praying at some point the social media algorithm is going to catch it and it's going to fuel that fire and blow you up. But it doesn't really happen like that. So I would say the best piece of advice I've been given and that I can give is just really to stay consistent, because now that I've been doing it for a little bit, day by day, I start to notice more things that just keep happening. It's just small little things, one day at a time. And just like you finding me, that's a big deal to me. So, it's small things keep happening. They eventually add up. And, I don't know that I'm going to blow up into the next big thing, but definitely could happen. And the idea that it could happen is enough to keep me going with it, because I'm, again, seeing the small increments every day. So biggest advice that I've got is just be consistent and just keep believing that it can happen. So
love that. Great advice. And I think that goes for any profession for sure. Max, congratulations to you. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Really appreciate it. Again,
that.
Make sure you guys do support the music of Max here. You guys can find here on Amazon. And Max, how can our audience stay connected with you?
Yeah, so I'm mainly on Instagram and TikTok, just at Max Goen Music, MAXGOEN Music. So that's where I'm most active. I definitely need to get into the Facebook side a little bit more. I'm just not fully in tune with Facebook. But Instagram and TikTok, that's where you'll find most of the stuff that I'm putting out. So just go look there, go follow there if you would. And so that's where you can find me.
All right, Max. I really appreciate it. And looking forward to our next chat together, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, glad to do it. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live, but also for our radio audience at Conversations Live. Appreciate you guys being with us as well. Until next time, I'm Cyrus Webb saying thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.